I think that people might have this Benghazi incident wrong. At least the people that I've been hearing and reading. Maybe there's others out there that have come to the same sort of view that I have. That it's really mostly just a way to go after Obama. You know, the Republicans don't have much that they really disagree with him about when it comes to war and things of that nature. So, I think they mainly fabricate this incident. I'm not saying it didn't really happen. I'm sure it did, and I'm sure it's terrible for the people that were involved. But, you know, why did it happen? How did it happen? How come it became an issue in the campaign? Romney brought it up in one of the debates. But another interesting thing about it, and it might just be a coincidence, is that it's my understanding that this incident happened on 9/11. Seems like a strange coincidence to me for something like that to happen on 9/11. But I don't know how much time we should spend thinking about it. It could be something that brings down the administration, but then again, maybe that would matter, but I'm not sure if it would. Things just tend to go on as they do. We creep more towards a police state, and no one seems to be able to do anything about it. I don't know. We have this kid, this strange story of this kid that was arrested for making a rap song and putting it on Facebook. And it was a terrible rap song from what I understand, and probably pretty dumb of him to do. But, I mean, to arrest him and threaten him with 20 years in prison or something like that. That's the story as I recall it. And then the story disappears, seemingly, from the news. And of course, we have the strange, bizarro world where people are rescued from their homes by militarized police. We're saying it's a good thing that the suspect wasn't in your home, as if he would be, while people were locked down under house arrest in their home in the Boston area. Very strange. Very strange. So we have Libya that's now a wreck. Syria they're working on, although I don't know what's going to happen. It looks like the Russians are... Maybe the Russians are, I guess, for lack of a better word, powerful enough at this point in history and have an interest. It will make the effort to stop the destruction of Syria. And we'll see. I thought that for a while that the U.S. empire was collapsing all around us, but then I realized the U.S. pretty much does run the world, but maybe that could all be smoke and mirrors at this point too. And maybe it is true that this sort of alliance, if you want to call it that, of Russia and China. China is a strange part of the puzzle in itself. In all these countries, India, Iran, it's odd the way that they relate to one another. The way China relates to the United States and the way China relates to Russia. I think as the United States pushes more and more, you'll see them bond together. Maybe not India, but possibly Iran. Geopolitically, it's a mess, and if you read some of the things that Brzezinski was writing, like the Grand Chessboard, I mean, it looks like they haven't succeeded. In the Grand Chessboard, Brzezinski wants a unified Europe, for instance, and it looks to me like Europe is more disunified, falling apart, however you want to put it. And guys like Brzezinski, when he wrote that, he made it seem like people love the United States or look to the United States as some kind of great model of democracy or something, you know, and like we really are spreading democracy. And he sort of just glosses over these other things that go on. Like, he talks about the Gulf War. I haven't gotten through the entire book. Maybe he mentions it more further on in the book, but I'm probably a third into the book, and you know, he sort of mentions it, but he doesn't spend a lot of time talking about how horrible it was. You know, I don't know. The United States, the people who run the United States, that's the other thing. When it comes to class, Brzezinski doesn't spend a lot of time. He talks about the internal problems of other countries, but he doesn't seem to spend a lot of time, at least so far. Maybe later in the book he will. But my point is, when you look at what their plans were, and things like the Grand Chessboard of Brzezinski, it looks like they've failed, but I don't know. Maybe I'm perceiving it wrong. And it does look like we're headed for a police state, but perhaps that's just to see what, you know, maybe it's just the idea is to make it so ridiculous that people will vote for a civil libertarian type. I don't know. What I do know is this Benghazi thing really can't be what it seems, and it's probably something that was meant to be used against Obama for probably something else that we'll never know that he did. Certainly not the Benghazi thing. That's how I see it, but you know, I'm just one guy. Alright.